Alright, and I have a Xbox One I mean, this is really rough physical shape. Something got on it and melted the shell. The concerning thing is it's been opened already. But, I mean, it looks like comes with everything. I do hear something sliding around. Plastic, perhaps. Could be a screw post, could be a screw. I don't know. So I want to get it apart and find out what that is before I turn this thing on. Because if it's a screw, I don't want it arcing on anything it's touching and fry things that weren't fried before. All the parts are here. I got the grill off and slid the little battery backplate. Or not the battery backplate, the eject button backplate that kind of helps hold everything together. This thing is dusty as all hell. Like there's just a fine layer of dust right in the inside that I see. Thing has been aggressively pried apart as well. I mean, at this point, this top shell bit is just complete garbage. Use plastic pry tools, people. Don't go in with your metal crowbar. That's how you damage plastic. Be much slower with plastic tools because they have more give, but won't damage everything as easily. What could be behind door number 1? Goes. This front panel connector wasn't connected as well. Alright, well, I'm going to separate it because I'm going to need it for testing. Oh boy, look at that fan. Yum. And just dust upon dust upon dust. Okay, I got the front panel connector. I'll just keep it in my lap. Start by taking off this, which is also somehow super dusty. Unless this thing was in like a freaking house fire. Oh, these were removed for some reason. I mean, I'll keep them removed. I don't know if they're for grounding. They might be, so they are important to keep there. Just remove that speaker. That screw's missing. Or was it this right here? Did it just tumble out? Unless I'm stupid and forgot to put it in on the last console I just worked on. Alright. That might be what was tumbling around. But I do at least want to take this off before... I might want to get a small vacuum to vacuum out this dust so I don't catapult it all over my room. I am curious, though. That may have been the rattling I was... No, there's something else in there. I hear shifting around. I really need to go get my small vacuum. I know where it is. I'll do that before I power up. I just need to know what exactly I'm getting into. Oh, one left. Okay, well, aside from being extremely dusty, here it is. That is a piece of plastic. From where? Good question. I'm wondering if it's like off one of these like posts. When I did do some searching, I think I can use this hard drive on other consoles without formatting it. So I could use this as just a tester. The last Xbox I worked on, it didn't have a hard drive, and I wasn't able to boot it with a 3.5 or a 4.5-inch drive. I don't know if that's because it's a power problem. The Xbox isn't expecting a drive that big, so it doesn't allocate enough power to run it. I'm gonna go grab a small vacuum cleaner and get this thing vacuumed before I power it on. I picked up like this small Dust Devil fan that I really have not utilized. So I hope it still works. I mean, I haven't used it for like 2 years. Should be fine. It also might be very loud. And I know I probably should be air dusting it because running a vacuum cleaner creates static electricity and yada yada yada, but I'll be careful. Well, if I want to do that, I need to get a better brush attachment, but that stuff's not going to be going anywhere. Alright, so let me get HDMI and power in and see what happens. I want to try my setup again with my HDMI switch, because I know my HDMI switch works, and it would be handy to have it working so I don't have to lean all the way over my desk to plug in a different HDMI source every single time. Because this monitor that I have was very cheap. It only has one input for HDMI. Before I get too far, get the front panel connector in, get it all nice and mounted. I'll try booting without the top chip on or connected. I do want to get the chime though. Just so I know what the console's doing, if it does actually respond to a power button. Alright, power, batteries to power. Light turned on, no fan. Why do I have no fan? There it goes. I hear the hard drive going. Not getting a signal out of HDMI. Again. Oh, I see. I'm using the wrong HDMI cable. Right. That was my supplemental HDMI cable. Oh. I saw the input pop up on my switch there for a second. Hooray, there it goes. It is verifying an update. I don't know how it's updating. So let me, I need to sync this controller. I got white boy. Might have to get a little creative here. The sync button wasn't initializing. I don't know if I need special... There's a special parameter needed in order for the sync button to work. So for now, just gonna run it via... Connect via USB. So we have an E100 error. Plugging in. Okay, good. Let me do the offline system updater. I have a payload actually ready. I don't know if I can just utilize any one of these SD card slots. Yes, I can. So now it's going to go through the process. We'll see what happens. Maybe that's all it needed, or... It doesn't sound like the drive's failing. It's not clicking. I'll get rid of my garbage while I wait. Maybe all this thing needs is just a cleaning and a new shell. We'll see. If it was really cool, I'd have a capture card sitting here so I can just feed this directly into my PC. Maybe one day. I have a couple spare or I have one spare capture card I wouldn't mind using. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'm gonna assume it's not this simple. But I mean, this thing is an awful cosmetic shape, so... I mean, I only picked this thing up for 20 bucks. And other than desperately needing a cleaning, it might just be fine. But what I will do is probably take this console to troubleshoot other consoles. Take the hard drive to the other console I just worked on just a little bit ago. Because Microsoft was somewhat lax when it came to the Xbox One. I mean, the 360, you weren't able to swap out hard drives. It was hard locked, and you were just like, well, you're boned. Need a new hard drive? That sucks for you. The only way you could swap out the hard drive is if you homebrewed it. In some sense, RGH3 or I think even Bad Update, you can swap the hard drives. You can't do it just without an official Xbox hard drive. Or maybe even third-party hard drives if if they're sophisticated enough. But it's not just like you can pop a hard drive in from a laptop. So the ability to just swap this out, use an official Xbox offline updater. I mean, it's kind of cool. I do really appreciate that sort of repairability of it. Because when shit is married together, like if the hard drive's married to the console or has proprietary firmware or partitionings on it, that just makes it so much more difficult than it needs to be. Get everything put away. I had my docking station for my... Oh, I guess they're 3.5-inch drives. I thought they were 4.5. Maybe I'm just stupid. The big, fat PC hard drives is what I'm talking about. Well, it's turned off. Turning back on automatically. Good sign. Still updating. Perfect. You gotta see my stylish background that I have. Ooh, E10 again. Or E100. Okay. Troubleshoot. Let's reset this Xbox. Remove everything. And then I'll try the updater again. Stylish background. I'll even put my OBS here. I don't really need this. Oh, it just threw it on my other monitor. I'll just keep it here. Something went wrong. Try it again. Oh, it threw my OBS there again. All right, let me see what I can find out about E100. And I guess while I do some research, I can run the offline updater one more time, and just the worst that can happen is it errors again. Interesting. So, could be tied to HDD corruption, missing invalid system updates, or partitions. Restoring NAND with a 360 flashing tool. I mean, if I have to reflash the NAND, I would have to look in to see if I need any particular specialty tools, or if I can do that with like a Raspberry Pi Pico. Which, I mean, that's how I flashed the NAND on an RGH console. RGH 3, Xbox 360. Optical drive board mismatch or missing drive. So I need to get the full code. So it spits out like an entire error code string. I need to see what that entire error code string actually is. Let me see. It's a different error code string. So let me see if I can find anything about this specific error code string. The updater tried to write to a system partition and couldn't complete the operation. Interesting. Motherboard cannot authenticate. Ooh, okay. The I did not do that, so I hope that doesn't screw things up or it disconnected normally. Fan's still going. I think it might be booting back up. So it might be I need to repartition this drive. We'll see. It looks like it's continuing where it left off. E10 again. Let me see what will happen if I put in a disk. I don't know if it's actually reading the disk because I'm not on the right menu. But it does sound like it is doing something. So let me plug this drive into my PC with the thing I just disconnected. and see if I can discover anything. Maybe the drive is just going bad. It looks like it's mounted in... The drive itself is mounted in maybe T8s or... It's really loose. Oh, it's a T10? Wow. I might just completely reformat this drive. Repartition it. All that into Monday. Okay, drive pops out. Let's see what it's on about. I don't think I would get as far as an error screen if the drive wasn't working. But I can just completely reformat it. Just see what's up with it. See if I can get anything off of it, or meaning is the drive still working to the extent that I can even use it. Disk manager, what do you show me? This drive does have all the partitions. However, I don't want any of these partitions. Okay, use disk partition. I guess let me bring this up real quick. I'm just gonna swap my monitors to my left one. So what I need to use is disk partition. I guess I can't really show my terminal because it doesn't... Because this shows information I'd rather not reveal. So let me just kind of walk through it here. So the one I want to wipe is disk 5. Select disk 5. And then clean. Okay, that drive is completely wiped. Now there's a tool I can run. The aptly named Xbox One HDD Master. So I got to open this up into a terminal admin. Set my file directory to here. Run the script, create drive underscore bat. Replace. I want to. So disk 5 is my target. This is a standard 500 gigabyte hard drive. Formatting, it's farting all of the partitions onto my drive. It just opens up a crap load of Windows File Explorer files. All right, that's done. Let's unmount that and get it back into the Xbox and see if that changes anything. This is a completely wiped, clean slate. Couldn't be any more vanilla than this. And I mean, I didn't run a crystal disk info on it. I probably should have, just to see if it reported any errors. Okay, so let me get the power back in and try it again. It is sure taking a second. So let me reset the Xbox, remove everything. Booting back up. Okay, same error. Didn't even seem like it wanted to try removing it, but now it's doing the update off through the offline updater. Assuming I set that drive up correctly, I think I did. It was just dropping the unzipped formatted files into the root of the SD card, or the little SD card that I'm using. If I remember from last time, I think it failed at about 60%. And it might just mean I need to try another hard drive. I'll see if there's any specifics about if it spits out a different error code. We'll see. This is one of those things only time will tell. As painfully slow as it is. I can look on Facebook Marketplace for more things to waste money on. We're getting close to that point where it fails. %60. That might be normal, just part of the update process. I think that's where it updated, and then when I came back, it just showed the error code. There it is. I'm wondering if it's... Let me see if that wiped. The disk drive is making some weird noises. It's the same error code. Yes, it is. This drive seems fine, but as I'm looking on AI here, it's saying that it could just be this drive was swapped, and they didn't swap the motherboard. I need to check. Just unplug. Like, the disk drive seemed to work fine, but what the error might be suggesting is that this disk drive was replaced and the motherboards weren't swapped out of it. Like, you can't just plug in a brand new disk drive. It's just simply not going to work. So I just kind of want to take out both cables, plug them back in. I'd almost have to see if there's like a way to... Probably should have unplugged the power supply while doing this. I mean... Hello. I know there's been recent successful glitch attempts for the original Xbox One, and I might just have to wait until that develops further. If somebody did replace this Blu-ray drive with another Xbox and didn't take the time to swap out the motherboards, then this thing's a brick until I can either yank the encryption keys off and marry them to this drive, or completely, I don't know, even eliminate the process where you can just throw in any hard drive or any disk drive and it will work just fine. I guess I'll just try one more time. I'm thinking that's where I'm going to be, where it's just going to be... It's possible that this is just a replacement drive. And there's nothing I can do. Yep. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of stuck. Just everything I'm reading here is that if this disk drive was swapped out and the daughter board wasn't swapped, this thing's just a brick for now. I need to wait until glitching attempts will allow me to... will allow me to actually work on this thing in a software capacity. I do want this hard drive, though. I'm going to keep it for diagnostic purposes, because I don't have one of these drives kicking around. So I guess let me just get this thing back together, and I'm just going to have to sit on it until the glitching gets far more advanced and I can actually do something. I mean, I will grab the original hard drive screws. I mean, I just dumped them all in my hand. I'll put them in a little baggie. But I could probably do some more reading on it later. Right now, yeah, my best theory is just it's... Drive's been swapped. Oopsie, it doesn't work. Sell it on Facebook. Alright, with everything back together-ish, I'll clean it later when I have more information, because right now this thing's a brick. Which is sad, but I mean, the promise of the new glitch that came out made these consoles very appealing to stockpile and work on. Because the better a console is supported, I think just the easier it is to work on. The more fun it is to work on when it's supported by a community. That's what's kind of made the Wii U very interesting to work on, because it is supported. Software-wise, like, there are methods of... I mean, like, the internal NAND chip for the console is completely optional. With the amount of, like, software support and, like, recovery menu exploits that exist. Good lord. I don't think I plugged this board back in, but it doesn't matter at this point. What are the chances that that piece matters? AI is telling me it's hardware authentication, which is why it's stuck at that verification step. But what are the chances that it's actually this? I think exceedingly low. The worst thing that could happen is nothing. Alright, there goes. Nope, same problem. Well, worth a shot. Go recover the hard drive again. Screws in. This thing all nice together again, so it doesn't end up like my Wii U where I have just parts laying everywhere. Then I want to swap back to the other hard drive, or the other Xbox that didn't have a hard drive, to see if a hard drive will fix it. And I mean, if not, then either way I need to get a new hard drive for it. So we'll see, that might just be parts. Which I hope not. I think in a perfect world I would really like it if all these consoles went back together nice and perfectly. Speaking of, why aren't those seating? What the heck? The hard drive doing? Or what's the disk drive doing? Are you in? Are you winning, son? That seems a little better. And only to sort of further my theory that it was the disk drive. The disk drive wasn't really sitting in there squarely. I think it is now. It was sort of jostled. This is one of those cases where I can see justifying an electric screwdriver. I'm just not a fan of being very unable to control it. Like, I know I can set it on torque settings, but I like having the control over how much I want to tighten it without having to get used to settings and risk stripping screws. Especially when it comes to like first threading them on, I really need to feel it. I need to feel the feedback, I need to know exactly what the hell's going on. Because I think at some point an electric screwdriver won't care if it's cross-threading. Maybe I'm underestimating them. Maybe I don't want to spend money. Manual screwdriver for the win. Get this plopped back on. The Monday screws will go back in. Hello? I mean, to be honest, these screws don't really look super right. I wonder if these are the hard drive screws. I did kind of dump all manner of screws in my hand. That sounds like something I gotta figure out later, because I don't know how much I can do with this until later. It's a brick. Put on this very sad looking front panel. Alright, kind of cobbled it together. This thing needs to be, again, so it's a brick. Needs to be taken apart and cleaned anyway. That will be a problemo for later.